In 2007, a group of university students passionate about audio decided to found Vulcano. At first, it was a small company in a town in Valencia that today is taking the speaker market by storm with the 3 capital P's: good, nice, and cheap. They are selling like hotcakes and receiving very positive reviews. And after having tested their new range of active speakers for a few weeks, it doesn't surprise me at all that they're achieving those numbers. I've managed to get my hands on their new Vulcano A4 ARC MKII speakers. They're the cheapest in their new series of active speakers, and I can assure you that despite their price, their quality, both in looks and sound, is well above average. And that's quite an achievement considering how things are these days. Next, I'm going to show you why these Valencian speakers have become a hit among audio enthusiasts who don't want to end up with empty wallets. You're already seeing the unboxing. It's been a while since I uploaded a speaker review to my channel, and I admit I missed it. Especially the audio test, which you'll hear later and which I've changed slightly. But you're already seeing the packaging, and it includes everything. It's crazy for the price it has. They don't skimp on accessories at all and even include the batteries for this remote. You're already seeing a remote with a solid grip. The buttons have good travel, which you'll notice more later. Besides the remote, as you've already seen, there's an L and R connection cable, a 3.5 to 2 RCA cable, an RCA to RCA cable, and an optical cable. Plus, the cables are quite long, which is appreciated. Even the instructions are in color. They really didn't cut any corners here. And honestly, these little details are appreciated. And now let's move on to the Vulcano A4 ARC MKII. They weigh around 4 kilos. They're made of solid wood. Also, it's really beautiful. Honestly, for this price, I was expecting a lot less. They're also available in black. And note, this is different from the previous version. And the thing is, the slots are magnetized. It's actually much more convenient to handle. Also, the rubber pads on the back are sticky enough to stick to any surface. They have 13mm tweeters with silk domes, and the woofer is also 4 inches. The maximum power, at least in these, which are the cheapest and smallest in the whole range, is 50 watts. The frequency response is between 40 Hz and 20 kHz, and the signal-to-noise ratio is around 80 decibels. But all of this is just cold data on paper. You'll hear it better later. By the way, this speaker is the one that includes this crystalline sheet, and it's where, for example, you can control it with the remote. You can change 1,000 things, including Bluetooth. And take a look here at the back, because I think this is what sets it apart from all the competition. Aside from the solid wood, this metal plate, check out all the connections it has for such a low price. The output for the other speaker includes a subwoofer output, an HDMI ARC output. This, for example, is great for those who have a PlayStation or like to play games or have a good TV. They're going to enjoy it. Another USB-C output, this is also different from the previous generation, an optical input, and the line-in inputs. And in addition, they include 3 dials, which honestly feel exquisite. Once again made of metal. They really didn't spare any expense here either. And watch out, because the volume knob is also clickable and it feels different when you turn it. While the other 2, the bass and treble controls, feel smooth when you turn them. The volume knob has a sort of click, 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 which is actually quite nice. Once again, this brand has added another small detail to these speakers at an amazingly low price. I've been testing this Valencian audio marvel with the best sound at the best price for a few weeks now, without a doubt, and I'm going to show you how it works in daily use. Currently, I have it connected to this mini PC I'm testing for a future video. It's another Geekom, and honestly, it's much better than the last one I tried. And check out all the connections that are already set up. It's very easy, very simple. Plus the cables are long enough so you can place one speaker far enough from the other. And now, let's try it out. Notice that when you turn it on, this LED lights up. It's an LED, and if you remove these magnetic grills, for example, when you turn the volume up or down, that LED will blink. And when you switch to other modes, for example, line out, HDMI, ARC, optical output, USB, or Bluetooth, it will change color. It also includes 3 audio modes, movie, music, or dialogue, And there's a small detail I've noticed after testing them for such a long time. And if, for example, you don't know exactly where the midpoint is between bass and treble, the knob itself has a click right in the middle, both for treble and bass, which tells you exactly where the halfway point of that range is. Details, details, and more details. Details about these Valencian speakers. And by the way, if you want to change modes but don't want to use the remote control, you can do it with the push button on the volume knob. And now let's move on to the audio test. First, let's see how it would sound, for example, with a YouTube video. It can also be enjoyable during the 2026 World Cup at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Are you going to watch a short clip? And then, for example, to enjoy movies and films. At this point, since it's such an all-purpose sound, it can perfectly replace a sound bar, for example, but at a much lower price. On the other side, this is what I was talking about. Take a look at this groove. You'll see it better. And it's just that Kinder has done things. Honestly, do you think there could be others? Because he was going to create a... In the time I've been testing these Valencian speakers, honestly, I've been pleasantly surprised, especially for movies and also for games. Pay close attention to that HDMI ARC, especially for its price range. Honestly, it's absolutely crazy. But not only when connected by cable, but also, for example, with Bluetooth. Here I go, I wanted to try it with this Fio, which I reviewed some time ago on this channel. It's the minimum people who care about great sound should spend if they want the best audio experience. But, as I was telling you, not only does it sound great with a cable, but it also includes Bluetooth 5.3. Here you can see how it blinks quickly in blue, which means it's ready to pair. And as you can see, it's very fast. And it would make this sound when it pairs correctly. And here you can see that it starts blinking blue more slowly. And now, let's move on to the music test. How does music sound over Bluetooth with these speakers? Vulcano A4 ARC MK2. By the way, you're going to hear very short clips of songs from all kinds of genres so you can get an idea of how it sounds. The amplifier chips have been improved. Now it sounds a bit clearer than the previous version. Like I said, it's very versatile, it works for anything, and in its price range, it does really well. If you add a subwoofer to this using the dedicated output, you'll get a really full sound. But for everyday use at this size, if you don't want to buy the subwoofer, I assure you it's more than enough. And now let's get to the part I like the most, the price. How much does this Vulcano A4 ARC MK2 cost? Well, as you can see, it used to cost $139.99, and now it's $119.99. For this price, available in both black and brown, it's absolutely crazy. Do you want something bigger and more powerful? You have the A5, which is even bigger and more powerful. The A6, and even so, they're not too expensive, as you can see. If you want to buy it on Amazon, you can find it here as well. By the way, you can see the reviews, which are very positive. And not just that. It's no surprise. The last generation succeeded, and this one is too. I expected nothing less. For less than 200 euros, these are probably the best active speakers you can buy today in this format. If you like the design, the wood, the finishes, and the inputs and outputs are enough for you, pay close attention to this Valencian alternative from Vulcano. What is my final conclusion? Well, it's been 9 years since I reviewed the first speaker from this brand. Just so you get an idea, this channel is 10 years old, and a lot has happened, and I've seen how this company has grown. Honestly, I think it's both incredible and wonderful that this small company from Valencia is achieving such great milestones. I'm going to leave all the links down below in the video description. You know, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, and leave me a like if you enjoyed it. The best sound at a really tempting price, just like these Vulcano. And now, that's it. See you in the next video. Take care and see you soon.